Hello Precise Pilates people, welcome to week 2 online. Let's get started with your first workout of the week. We're going to connect to our obliques in this nice neutral spine setting. So I'd like you to really think about the sternum being lifted gently forwards and upwards. So you've got a nice strong connection to this lifted chest position. We also want to think about a nice neutral spine in standing. So if you need to do a few pelvic tilts until you find that you're in this nice neutral spine, do so here. The knees are soft, the feet are hip width. Place one hand onto the side of the ribs. Now the other arm is going to relax down by the thigh. I'd like you to switch on the transverse band on your next exhale. Then take a gentle breath in, relaxing the shoulders, keeping the sternum floating. Now we're going to reach the arm on up, we're going to reach the shoulder up towards the earlobe on one side. So as you lift the shoulder up on one side, I'd like you to exhale, push the hand into the ribs. Good. Keep the neck soft and neutral. Inhale, release the shoulder down. So you're lifting one shoulder up on the exhale and sliding the rib cage down. Good. So we'd like this lift of the shoulder to not compromise this nice neutral spine. Lift the shoulder up, draw the rib down on the exhale, inhale, release. Exhale and inhale. Good. Beautiful. So we've got abduction of the shoulder here. And we're able to keep a nice neutral spine with the transverse band switched on and the oblique working to keep the rib cage drawn down. Good. One more on this side. Go relax here. Now there shouldn't be any tension through the traps or the shoulder when you're doing your arm prep. So now I want you to keep the shoulder down from the earlobe. Keep your hand on the side of the rib cage. You're going to exhale, reach the arm on up, directly in line with the chest. Sink the hand down into the rib cage that's on your side. As you reach the arm overhead, the rib sinks in and down and the obliques are on between the rib and the hip. Inhale, hand by your side. Stay on one side. Exhale, arm press. Sink the hand into the rib cage. Rib in and down. Shoulder down from the ear. Inhale, hand by your side. Good. So we'd like to keep the rib connection on. We'd like to keep the obliques holding the spine within neutral and the transverse band preventing that pelvis from tilting. Single arm prep here. Good. Keep it going. Keep the knees soft. The lower back tension minimal. Good. So remember, it's an exhale as you reach the arm on up. It could come to chest to eye height, directly in line with the shoulder. The hand wants to push the rib cage in and down, and we want to keep the back within neutral. Let's make this movement now circular. Exhale, we reach the arm on up to arm prep. We're going to turn the palm outwards, push down to the side of the thigh. Good. Then the palm facing inward. Inhale here. Exhale, sweeps on up overhead. Rotate the palm and push down, squeeze the armpit shut. Inhale. Exhale up and rotate out, push down. Inhale and exhale. Again, you want to use that nice pressure of your palm into your rib cage. Now, if you feel like you're able to hold a neutral spine, you can release one arm down by your side as you do these lovely breaststroke prep or breaststroke circles, utilizing the nice function of the shoulder. Good. Reach the arm on up, rotate out and push down. Let's do one more. Good. Rest the arm down. Now, notice that the shoulders want to remain level throughout this series. Take it to the other side. Place the hand on the side of the rib cage. Hand resting down by the thigh. Take a deep breath in. Make sure that the transverse band is on. We're going to lift the shoulder upwards. As we exhale, we push the rib down towards the hip. And then we inhale, release. Exhale. And inhale. Getting a nice lift of the shoulder and down. So we've got abduction. And we want the rib to hip on, so we keep the spine within neutral. We want to utilize the shoulder girdle, lifting, to test if we can remain within a nice neutral spine. Good. Let's now move into arm prep. So keep the shoulder drawn down and the shoulders level. Exhale, arm prep. Sink the hand into the rib cage to draw the rib down towards the hip as the shoulder glides down away from your ear. Inhale, hand comes back down. Exhale, hand could float to chest, eye height or directly in line with the shoulder. Check that your rib and your hip connection's on and your transverse band is flattening to keep your pelvis from moving, to keep your upper back from arching. The sternum is gently lifted so that we're staying upright. Good, you can rest your hand down by your side if you feel like you're able to work. Beautiful, let's turn this into that nice breaststroke circle. Exhale, reach the arm on up, ribs draw towards hips, shoulder down. Rotate the palm out, exhale, push down to the side of the thigh. Inhale, arm prep, exhale, rotate out and sweep down. Lovely, inhale and exhale. Good, you could still be testing your rib to hip connection, your neutral spine, your nice strong T-zone line, holding pelvis in neutral. Good, let's do one more, exhale. Palm rotates out, exhale, push down. Squeeze the armpit shut and inhale, release. Lovely, let's try for both arms here, working through that arm prep first. Arms down, relax, so keep this knee placement soft. Now we want to inhale, and on the exhale, transverse band switches on. Now as we exhale, we slowly start to reach the arms in line with the chest, the rib cage sinks in and down. You can reach the arms at eye level or directly over the shoulder. Both palms rotate out, and we sweep down to the side of the thigh, squeezing the armpit shut. Inhale, exhale, arm prep, ribs sink in and down, shoulders down your back, rotate palms out and sweep down, squeeze shut. Good, exhale up, rotate and press down, inhale at the bottom. Beautiful, keep it going. Now the wider your circle, the more you need to think about keeping the sternum floating, but the rib cage drawing down to keep the back within neutral. Notice from the sides that I don't arch my back. I do hit the wall by mistake. I don't arch my back as I come into that nice arm circle. I utilize that deep exhale to push my armpit shut. Good, reach on up, rotate and push down. Make this your last one. Arm prep, rotate, exhale. Good. So we're really working through the shoulder girdle through some rotational movement here. Now let's take it into stop signs. So again, we'd like a soft knee placement, pelvis just floating over the soles of the feet. Exhale, we want to connect to the transverse band. And then we're going to float the arms on up on your next exhale to the arm prep. You want to rotate your palms forwards, bend at the elbows and bring the hands roughly in line with your head. Beautiful. Shoulders want to stay relaxed from the earlobes, keeping a soft bend in the knees, but the pelvis remaining in neutral. We're going to exhale as we glide the shoulder blades down our back. Feel the sternum lightly pulled forwards as the elbows comes to the waist. Inhale, hands come to face height. Don't shrug the shoulders up. Exhale, glide the shoulder blades down. We're keeping the T-zone nice and strong over the hips to prevent the pelvis moving. We want a gentle lift of the sternum forwards. Inhale. Good, exhale. Good, and inhale. Now that moment where you feel the shoulder blades draw together, that mid-deep center back connection, is pretty important for your spine twist, in which we're going into next. Let's do 3. Exhale and inhale. Exhale. Feel that draw down of the shoulder blades gliding together in that V. Inhale. Let's hold this last one. Exhale. Now soften through the knees and widen through the arms. Keep your palms facing inwards, shoulders glided down. Exhale, spine twist. Good. Eyes following that leading thumb. Inhale back to center. Keep the hips facing forwards. Exhale for spine twist. Inhale to center. Shoulders back and down in that nice stop sign. Exhale. Keep your pelvis, your ASIS bones facing forwards as you rotate underneath that waist. So as we rotate, we want to think about shining a light on the road in front of us. Our headlights stay facing forwards, even if we turn our head to look out of our rear view mirror. Keep the knees soft and try not to arch through your back as you rotate. Try to keep that nice neutral spine placement. Spine twist on the exhale and inhale to center. Good, one more each side. Shoulders back and down. Spine twist, hips stay facing forwards. Inhale to center, last one. Inhale to center, relax. Roll the shoulders, take the strain off of the upper body. Good. Now let's do a little bit of rolling up and down, just a few. You can come into your hugger tree stretch if you don't want to roll this session. We're going to keep the knees and the feet at that hip width stance. We want a neutral spine, and we're going to relax the shoulders, arms by your side. Take a deep breath in. Now as you drop your chin to your chest and you sink your head in front of your chest line, think about your transverse band flattening. Then sink the ribs towards the hips, head in front of the belt line. Start to softly roll down, head in front of the thighs. Sink the head forwards and down, let the arms go loose from the armpit joint. As you gently open up your back one vertebrae at a time. Take a deep breath in at the bottom. You can have soft or slightly bent knees if you need. Push through the heels. Exhale, scoop through the abdominals. Start to switch the legs on as you scoop on out and start to stack the vertebrae on the pelvis. Roll each vertebrae back to its neutral alignment, stacking tall, and then lift your sternum, drop your shoulders, take a breath in. Chin to chest, exhale, sink the forehead in front of the chest line. Feel that 1 inch band of muscle start to switch on. Sink the ribs towards the hips. And start to allow the upper body to roll forwards and down. Have the bent knee position if you need. Sink your upper body forwards over the lower body, opening each vertebrae one at a time. Let the arms dangle from the armpit joint, head heavy from the neck. Take a deep breath in at the bottom. Push through the heels, scoop out that abdominal connection. Start to switch on the leg muscles as we stack the vertebrae on the pelvis. Rolling tall, 1 vertebrae at a time, back to its nice neutral alignment. Lift the sternum, drop the shoulders. Let's do 2 more, a deep breath in. Chin drops to chest. Exhale, sink. Ribs want to drop towards the hips as the upper body rolls in front of the lower body. Take a deep breath in at the bottom, making sure the arms are loose, the head is loose from the neck. Exhale, scoop, push through the heels and start to switch on legs and abdominals. Stack the vertebrae one at a time slowly, realigning tall in that nice neutral spine position. Take a deep breath in at the top. Now we're going to stop at the bottom of this one to transfer to 4-point kneeling. So as you roll forwards and down, you may want a slightly bent knee position if you need to reach towards your mat. Take a deep breath in at the bottom still and release the head from the neck, the arms from the armpit. Bend at the knees to reach the mat. Exhale, still scoop the abdominals as you walk your hands forwards, coming bent knees down to the mat, 4-point kneeling. Shuffle yourself into position. You can always come back to child's pose if you'd like a little rest here. So in this position, we are going to start with our bat wings for scapular setting. Hands up in line with our shoulders, not in front and definitely not behind, which would stress your wrist. Sorry, I've got a fly buzzing around me. You want to actively draw the shoulder blades down from your earlobes to lengthen your neck. And you want to now switch on your T-zone, starting at your pelvic floor. So take a nice soft breath in. Think about that squeeze of front and back passage muscles. As you exhale, we're lifting the abdominals off the mat to draw them inside the front of the pelvis. Almost as if the pelvic bones were narrowing at the front to flatten those abdominals. Beautiful. From here, keeping your arms nice and long, we want to allow the chest to sink down towards the elbows. Take a deep breath in. Sink the chest down towards the elbows. Feel the shoulder blades pop out the back of the body. Now pushing against the ground, we're going to push, exhale, switch on the scapula, gliding them back into the body, switching on the serratus anterior armpit muscle as well as the chest muscle, the pecs. Again, keep the arms long. Inhale, sink the chest down towards the elbows. On the exhale, push away from the ground. Start to push the chest back on up by drawing the shoulder blades back into that alignment of the body. Switch on the armpit muscle and the chest muscle. Let's do a few more. Inhale. Now this position is where you are scapular winging, and we want you to check. Does this feel good? Probably not around your neckline. You would be stressing your traps. So as you exhale to push away from the ground, pushing the chest up, drawing the shoulder blades back in alignment with the body, Draw the shoulder blades down and feel chest and back on. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Sink the chest down between those long arms. Feel the scapula poke out your body. As you exhale, push away from the ground. As you push the chest up, you want the shoulder blades to draw back in and down your back. 1 more. Inhale. Good. As we exhale, we're going to push away. Push the chest back on up. Now keep this alignment here. Draw the shoulder blades down. Stay switched on. We're going to keep the hands in line with the shoulders for tricep press. Take a deep breath in. You're going to draw your elbows back towards your knees, bending at the elbow joint to bring the head down towards the hands. Exhale, push off through the arms, extend, draw your chest back on up. Now you're working the back of the arm itself, so try to keep the elbows inside your box, shoulders down. Push off the chest. We're going to inhale, elbows bend towards the knees, hands down, head down between hands. Exhale, push off strong, extend those arms. Shoulders want to remain within the back, so don't let the scapula wing, don't hang off your shoulder girdle. Try to think about that armpit muscle and chest on to support this nice conditioning exercise for the back of the arm, the tricep group. Inhale down, exhale, push off strong. Good. Drawing the shoulder blades down your back, don't let your tailbone lift and don't tuck your pelvis forwards. Try to keep your nice neutral spine. Try to keep those abdominals lifted from the mat. Final 3, 2, and 1. Good, come back to your box, and if you need to, come down to bent forearms, or come back to your child's pose, drawing your glutes back to your heels, to have a little rest here. Good. So this is a pretty strong arm set that I've got planned here. We're going to go into our swimming arm, and turn this into the breaststroke pattern from the warm-up if you choose. We're going to come back to the box here. If at any point you'd like to take this to the wall to take the pressure off of your shoulder girdle or your wrist, you can do by any means. Hands are back in line with the shoulders. We want this nice strong box setting. Knees are aligned underneath the pelvis, and you want to switch on, inhale, lifting the pelvic floor, back and front muscles lifting. Exhale, lift the abdominals off the mat. Look for that nice neutral spine where it doesn't feel like your tailbone's lifting and your pelvis is tilting forwards. Good. From this position here, let's go into swimming arm. We're going to reach one arm forwards, drawing the shoulder blade down our back, we float the hand from the mat. Good. Inhale, come back on in, place the palm down, change sides. Don't shuffle across your pelvis or knees. Reach the arm forwards, exhale, glide the shoulder blade down your back. As your hand comes back on in, think about now getting nice active balance of pressure through the palms before you lift the opposite arm off the mat. Good, think about that balance of pressure, no movement through the pelvis, please. You could stay connected to the mat, just use the draw down of the shoulder to extend the arm forwards if you'd like. If those of you would like to take this into breaststroke arm, reach the arm forwards, draw the shoulder blade down, keep the chest in line with your palm. Rotate this straight arm palm out, push down and squeeze the armpit shut, draw the hand towards your thigh. Inhale, place the hand down to change sides. Reach forwards, exhale, glide the shoulder blade down. Turn the palm on out and sweep hand down towards the buttocks, squeezing the armpit shut. Inhale, bring the hand back to the mat. Keep that equal balance of pressure through the palms. Try to prevent your chest rotating out to the side as you do your breaststroke arm here. You want the rotation to come from the armpit joint itself, and do not let your head follow with your hand. Keep looking down between your hands. Good. One more each side, please. Reach the arm forwards. If you're going for that nice arm circle for the breaststroke pattern, you can add that in here. As the hand comes back to the mat, equal pressure through the palms. Drop the glutes back towards the heels, rest back in child's pose, or down onto those bent forearms. Beautiful. Let's go into swimming legs. Come back to the box. Now you can change your wrist pattern if you'd like. You can have this straight wrist, Or you can have your bear claw or you're slightly turned out to the side, however you feel you would like to work. Shoulders glide down, push off the chest. Think about your back wing exercise, so that nice scapular setting. Switch on to the T-zone, inhale pelvic floor, exhale abdominals lift off the mat. Now keep equal pressure through your chest and your palms. We're going to slide one leg out of the box, feel our way along the mat with our toes. We're going to squeeze our glute max to lift just the foot a paper's width from the mat. Keep that equal pressure through the palms. Inhale, slide back to the box. Equal pressure through the knees, exchange. Slide the leg on out. Squeeze the glute max to lift the weight of the foot from the mat. Inhale and slide back on in. Now it could just be an inch that you float from the mat. It could be a paper's width. As long as you've got nice glute max contraction and you've got a nice neutral spine, you're keeping that nice active pressure through the palms and the chest with the shoulders glided down. You can just stick to that paper's width lift. You know that you need a deeper contraction of abdominals as well as that glute max if you want to take the leg higher. I don't want you to let the pelvis rotate out to the side, so don't let your chest go with your leg. Try to keep your chest looking directly over your mat. Look into the space in front of your fingertips, shoulder blades back and down. As you extend the leg on out, remember we want to keep the pelvis level. We want that nice equal pressure through the palms. As you settle your knee into the mat, you should have nice equal pressure, so you're not shuffling side to side. Let's make this one more on each side for swimming legs. Squeeze the glute, keep that T-zone working, shoulders back and down. Our last one. Good, come back to your box. Rest back in your child's pose, take the weight off your wrist and your arms. Wonderful, good. From this position, we're going to go into a kneeling position for our spine twist variation. You can fold up some padding. You can also sit on your buttocks if you don't like to be in high kneeling. You can place the padding under your knees. Now you want to lift yourself upright and think about that nice floating sternum being pulled gently forwards and up, so the chest is lifted, not concave through the rib cage. You also want to think about a gentle squeeze of your glutes. This is going to promote the tailbone to be drawn down. It's not a posterior pelvic tilt. You're not tucking the pelvis under. You just got a little bit of glute max activation. And if you drive down through your knees to lift the spine upright, your quadriceps will also have a small amount of activation. Shoulders back and down. Now we're going to have our arms in this nice Cossack position. So you're going to float one forearm directly in line with your chest, the opposite forearm on top. Shoulders stay down from the ears. You're going to look down by tucking chin to chest at an expensive watch on your wrist. Take a soft breath in and start to lift your pelvic floor. And exhale, connect to the transverse band. Shoulders do not lift up into the earlobes. Keep looking down at your watch. Now moving your chest and arm line as one, your hips staying facing forwards. We're going to exhale to spine twist. We're rotating underneath the rib cage. You're going to stop as the chest and arm run out of that range, and inhale, come back to center. Shoulders down, exhale, spine twist, and inhale to center. Try not to push the tummy forwards and arch through the lower back. A little squeeze of the glutes, a drive down through your quads and into your knees will help you. Exhale, spine twist, and inhale to center. Good, keep it going. You could be here in seated, in cross-legged, straight-legged if you choose, doing the same motion, keeping the sit bones on the mat. Exhaling to rotate, shoulders back and down. Rotation is at the waistline under that rib cage. Inhale to center. We want to be looking at our watch on our wrist, keep our neck long to keep the tension out of our jaw. If you are getting jaw tension, lightly press your tongue to the roof of your mouth and slightly part your lips. Keep your breath in and out through that nice part lip. Exhale for spine twist, then inhale to center. Think about keeping that soft draw down of your tailbone, your spine within neutral. Let's go one more each side. Exhale, spine twist. Inhale to center. Last one, spine twist. Inhale to center, beautiful. Arms down by your sides. Bring your buttocks down to your heels. Under your mat's edge. Beautiful. We're going into side lying. So we're going to be coming down to work into some hip mobility, looking at rotation at the hip joint. Come on down. Grab a pillow if you need to. I'm going to lift my head. It helps with the microphone pickup for sound. You can also pop a pillow underneath your head if you like the alignment and to take the stress off the neck. Now we'd like to have a nice neutral spine alignment. We're starting with a 45-degree angle from hip and knee. We want to make sure our top hip bone's rotated forwards and you have a nice waist gap between you and the mat on the bottom waist. Hand on the top hip bone, exhale, push the top hip down so you get that waist gap. Between your ribs and your hips, you should feel your obliques are firing and that you have a small little gap that you could possibly tuck your fingers underneath. Mine's exaggerated to show you. We're keeping the bottom leg bent. We're going to take the top leg long for straight leg raise. Now here in this position, you want to float your leg from the mat at roughly in line with your hip. You want to point out from hip to toe. There are levels for here. If you want to stay in line with your hip, this makes this exercise a little bit more easier. If you bring your leg halfway between your buttocks and your bottom knee, a little bit more challenging, and optimally 2 thighs aligned, the most intense for this exercise. Wherever you choose to be, you want to have an internal rotation of your toes down from your hip joint. We're going to keep this leg long, keep it at line with hip height. Exhale, push the heel on up. Inhale, lower to hip height. Exhale, push the heel up, and inhale to lower. Now remember that we want to keep the bottom waist up. So we're only pushing the heel as high as we can keep the bottom waist lifted and the spine within neutral. There shouldn't be any strain through your shoulders, your neck, or your jaw. So relax that top shoulder if the hand is supporting you in balance. Good, we're feeling the side of the thigh as well as the side of the hip joint and glute working. Exhale, push the heel up. Inhale to lower, straight leg raise. Good. Remember, you can always drop the leg back in line with the hip to make this exercise less challenging, or sweep the leg aligning 2 thighs to make it more challenging if you choose. Good. 2 more. Exhale, push the heel up, inhale to lower. Last one, hold at hip height. Keep the rotation down from the toes to the hip joint. We're going to sweep the leg forwards, 2 thighs aligning. Now, as you push your heel back, I want you to squeeze your glute max for side kick. Keep your top hip forwards, don't rotate your hips back. Inhale, sweep the leg forwards. And exhale, sweep the leg back, squeeze your glute max. Keep your top hip forwards, keep your bottom waist up. Inhale forwards for side kick. 2 thighs aligning, or the thigh coming just over the bottom thigh. Exhale, push the heel back. Squeeze the glute max, top hip stays forwards. Now the further behind you take that leg, behind your hip joint, you want your glute max to contract. You want to keep the leg at hip height, so try to prevent dropping it below that point. You'll further condition your glute medius if you keep it floating, and also you won't be counteracting this oblique work that you're doing on that bottom waist. Good, push the heel back, exhale, squeeze the glute max, top hip forwards, bottom waist up. 2 more, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale, last one, push the heel back, squeeze the glute max. Beautiful, let's bend the knees to 45, have a little rest. Excellent, let's do our clam 1 kick out from here. So both knees are at 45, heels are together, knees are stacked. If you've lost your bottom waist, push your top hip down. Have that top hip gently rolled forwards towards the mat's edge. Hand in front for balance. Starting with your clam 1, squeeze your heels. Make sure you're flattening your abdominals from hip bone to hip bone so the transverse band is working. We want to press the heel together, exhale, open clam 1, and we want the glute medius working. You can stick with clam 1 if you find glute medius activation difficult. I'm going to keep adding on. I'm going to extend the top leg long. It's just roughly in line with the hip. And I'm going to rotate the whole leg down at the hip joint all the way to the toes. Good, then I'm going to bring the heels back together, knee high back to the clam, press the heels together, inhale, close. Exhale, squeeze the heels, open for clam. Inhale, extend the leg, turn it down from the hip joint. Exhale, soles together, knee high, inhale, close. Squeeze, exhale, open the clam. Inhale, lengthen, turn the leg down from the hip. Exhale, soles together, knee high, inhale, close. Good, squeeze, exhale, open. Extend, inhale, turn it down. Exhale, soles together, knee high, inhale, close. Good, keep it going. Squeeze, exhale, open. Extend, inhale, turn it down. Exhale, soles together, keep this knee high, inhale, close. Squeeze, exhale, lengthen, inhale, turn it down. Exhale, squeeze the heels back together and close, inhale. Good, 3 more, squeeze, lengthen. Heels together, press your heels back together in the clam and close. Good, 2 more. Beautiful. Lovely, last one. Beautiful, have a little rest. Ooh, not finished. We've got one more exercise here and then we'll do a nice stretch of the chest in thoracic rotation. So we're going to go into our circles exercise. You can come back to straight leg raise or come back to a clam one if you'd like. Keeping that bottom leg bent at 45, I want you to make sure you've got your bottom waist lifted, your top hip forwards as you extend the top leg. Your abdominals are flattening at the transverse band line to support the leg at hip height. Now this hip height is the bottom ledge of a circle that you're going to draw through your hip, out through your pointed toe. Take a nice deep breath in, sweep the leg forwards. Reach the leg on up, exhale, sweep it back and down to hip height. Inhale, forwards and up. Exhale, back and down. Now your glute max contracts as you sweep the leg back and down. Inhale, forwards and up. Squeeze the glute max, back and down. Good. Keep the top hip forwards. Try not to rotate back through the pelvis or the spine. Hand in front for balance. Relax this shoulder. Don't stress the neck or the jaw. Good. Lovely. Remember, the bottom edge of the circle is at hip height, so try to prevent the leg dropping below. Point out through the toes. Let's reverse the circle. Come back to your start point. Sweep the leg back. Exhale, squeeze your glute max. Up. Inhale, forwards and down. Sweep your leg back. Exhale, glute max. Up. Forwards and down. Inhale. Good. Now at any point you can come back to the mat to rest. Don't let your pelvis roll around. Keep this movement through the front of the hip joint, not through the pelvis or the spine. Draw that nice circle. Last 2. And 1. Come back to hip height, bend, come back to 45 and rest. Beautiful. Now this bottom arm, if you're resting your ear on it, you're going to shoot it straight out from the chest. For those of you that want a pillow underneath the ear to take the stress off the neck, you can do so here. Place your top palm on top of the bottom palm. You want to keep your bottom waist lifted and your top hip forwards here. Keep the knees and the feet together. T-zone wants to flatten so that we've got a nice strong connection. We're going to inhale, sweep the top palm forwards. Reach this forwards and rotate the top hip a little bit further forward here. Then exhale, hand comes towards the ceiling, eye on your thumb. As you exhale, push your top hip forwards, bottom waist up. Press the arm behind you to stretch your chest. Good. Inhale, hand comes back to ceiling. Exhale, close palm to palm. Inhale, reach forwards. Exhale, palm comes up. Now your top hip wants to stay forwards. As you exhale, push the arm behind you. Bottom waist lifted. Good. Inhale, hand to the ceiling. Close palm to palm. Exhale. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, forwards and up. Good. So this rotation allows your head to softly turn with the arm. Hips non-turning. Back does not want to rotate. We want to keep this rotation in the upper body, through the chest itself and the thoracic back, not the lumbar spine. Good. Have a nice stretch here. Inhale, hands to the ceiling. Exhale, close palm to palm and have a little rest. Let's push ourselves up and change sides to repeat that series. So as you bring yourself over to the other side, have a pillow or a towel underneath that ear to realign the neck. Good. Legs begin at 45. We want to make sure we stack the spine into that nice neutral position. So, hand on the top hip, roll the top hip gently forwards. Exhale, push the top hip down and lift the bottom waist. Check with fingers between ribs and hips that the obliques are firing. Hand can stay on that top hip bone. Now we're starting with straight leg raise. So the top leg is long. Now as you flatten the abdominals from hip bone to hip bone, you can lengthen the leg out from the hip joint. I'm kicking my fridge again. And it wants to stop at this alignment roughly in line with you and your hip bone. It doesn't want to drop any lower than this. Remember, in line with your hip is a little bit easier. Halfway between buttocks and bottom thigh, a little bit intense. Full intensity is the two thighs aligned. Now, wherever you are, you want your rotation from your hip joint down so that your toes are rotated towards the ground. We are going to keep the bottom waist up. Exhale, push the heel up. Inhale to lower. Exhale and inhale. Good, exhale, push the heel up. Inhale, lowering to hip height. Trying to prevent the bottom waist from dropping into the mat. Only pushing the heel as high as we can keep that nice neutral spine. The side of your thigh as well as your glute will be working in this series. So help it by maintaining neutral with your pelvic floor connection, the bottom waist lifted, and the flattening of your abdominals from hip bone to hip bone. Good. Shoulder, jaw, chest relaxed. Really feeling the intensity on the side of the hip joint. Final two. And one. Come to hip height hold. Keep that rotation down from the hip joint. Sweep the leg forwards, inhale, aligning the two thighs. Push the heel back, squeeze your glute max. Keep your top hip forwards. Inhale, sweep the leg forwards for side kick. As you push the heel back, you want to squeeze your glute max. Leg travels behind the pelvis, top hip bone forwards. Bottom waist up. Inhale. Your two thighs can align, or you can bring that thigh slightly over the bottom thigh. As you push the heel behind you, exhale. Your glute max squeezes, so you can push the heel further behind your pelvis as long as this top hip bone doesn't rotate back. Inhale, push the heel back, exhale. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale. Go 4 more. Inhale. Try to keep the leg at hip height. Exhale, push the heel back, squeeze the glute max. Good. Inhale. And exhale, feeling hands on your glutes, in your T-zone, in your bottom waist. Final two. Our last one, as you push the heel back, squeeze the glute max. Top hip bone does not rotate back. Bring the legs to 45 to rest. Beautiful. Let's do our clown one kick out. Now we want to keep the bottom waist up. We want the top hip bone staying forwards. Our legs are at 45. We squeeze the heels to initiate the transverse band switching on. You want this transverse band to support your neutral spine. Your glute medius connection is first, so as you exhale to open clown one, make sure you find it here. Stick with clown one for 10 reps if you'd like, or you could inhale, lengthen the top leg at line with the hip, turn it down from the hip joint, rotate the toes down. Good, exhale, bring your heels back together, squeeze, top knee high, inhale, close. Exhale, open your clown, pressing heels together. Lengthen the top leg at line with the hip, turn it down from the hip joint. Exhale, soles together, knee high, inhale, close. Exhale, squeeze and open. Lengthen, inhale, turn it down from the hip. Good, exhale, soles together, this knee is high, squeeze the heels. Close, inhale, good. So each time you come back to your clown positioning, your heel press reappears. So you've got a nice strong connection to glute medius, as well as minimus in this internal rotation. at the leg extension. We're going for 10 reps. So we've got 3, squeeze, exhale, open, extend, turn it down from the hip, heels together, squeeze the heels, inhale, close, final 2. Last 1. Good, come back to rest, have a little break. Circles is your last hip and glute mobility exercise here. So if you'd like, you can have a rest. You can come back to straight leg raise and come back to plan 1, whatever you'd like. For your circles, top hip bone forwards, press the top hip bone down, bottom waist is up. Transverse band is on, bottom leg stays bent at 45, the top leg extends at hip height, in line with you. Now remember that we do want the top hip bone to stay forwards and not travel back. We want this little internal rotation from the hip joint, if you'd like to add it here. We're going to start drawing the circle. So let's sweep the leg forwards, inhale and up. Exhale, sweep the heel back, squeezing glute max and down. In line with the hip is the bottom edge of your circle. Inhale forwards and up. Exhale back and down, squeeze the glute. Good. Point out through the toe. Keep that top hip from traveling backwards. Squeeze the glute max as the leg presses back and down. Breathe in and out nice and deeply. Good, bottom waist is lifted. Hand in front for balance, relax the top shoulder. Let's reverse the circle. Come to this circle hip height. And now sweep the leg back, squeezing your glute max and up. Inhale forwards and down. Push back through the heel, squeeze the glute max and up. Exhale, inhale forwards and down. The bottom edge of your circle is at hip height. Good training for glute medius. Bottom waist up, always check in with the T-zone. As the leg starts to get tired, you'll start to draw more of a wonky triangle. Try to keep it nice and smooth through the circle. Final 2. Last 1. Bring the leg to hip height, bend the knees to 45 to rest. Good, rub that glute. Now, the bottom arm that you might be resting your ear on is going to stretch straight out from the chest with thoracic rotation. Tuck a pillow or a towel underneath the ear if you like. Top palm rests on top. You still want your bottom waist, so make sure you find it here. The top hip bone forwards. Flattening through the T-zone, we then start to inhale, reach this hand forwards. Exhale, palm comes to the ceiling, eye on that thumb. Exhale, push the palm behind you. Top hip bone stays forwards, bottom waist up. Inhale, hand to the ceiling. Exhale, close palm to palm. Inhale, reach forwards. Keeping this top hip bone rotated here. Exhale, palm to the ceiling, eye on the thumb. Exhale, push the top hip forwards, bottom waist up. Push the top arm behind you. Good, inhale, hand to ceiling. Exhale, close palm to palm. 2 more. Inhale forwards. And exhale up. Exhale back. Good, keep this rotation, stretching the chest through that upper back. Not through the pelvis, not through the lumbar spine. 1 more. Beautiful. Come back to rest. Have a little break. Good. We're going to push ourselves up into seated. You can pop a pillow underneath your glutes or your sit bones if you need to here. You can have cross-legged, you can have bent knee V-sit, or you can have straight leg V-sit. Depending on what you'd like, you can sit into a chair if you find that sitting on your butt aggravates your hips. Now we're going to go in through seated tailor. So we've done our spine twist, and that is an exercise you can come back to. For your seated tailors, you want to sit as upright as much as possible. Now I'm going to show you the exercise from the side. We want to incorporate an opening and closing of the scapula itself. So almost like your hug a tree stretch, where you widen through the shoulders. We want that positioning when we close the forearms in front to feel the back widen. And then we want to locate through stop signs a nice upper back connection. And we're going to incorporate that here. So if you're in your bent knee V-sit, you can have a little flex of your feet. And I want you to lift your chest upright of your rib cage. So really think about the sternum being lifted forwards and up, and feel that your tailbone is in vertical and your spine is translating that nice lift out the crown towards the ceiling. From this positioning, switch on your pelvic floor with a nice soft breath in. Exhale, focus on the transverse band, flattening to draw your two hip bones closer together. You should feel lifted off your sit bones, ribs over hips. Good. We're going to bring our arms up into arm prep, so float the arms at chest height. As you exhale, sink the ribs in and down, the arms will float over the chest, maybe over the shoulders. Rotate the palms in, bend at the elbows to glide the hands down into that nice stop sign positioning at about face height. Take a deep breath in. On an exhale, give me a stop sign activation. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Feel the mid-deep center back connection, elbows gliding towards the waist. Good, keep the sternum lifted, upright on your sit bones. On your next exhale, you're going to spine twist, rib cage away from the pelvis, underneath that nice waistline. Good, keep your sit bones on the mat. Inhale to center, shoulders down. Exhale to rotate. Inhale to center. Now as you come back to center, close your forearms, draw your forearms together, and feel as you squeeze your elbows together, your shoulder blades widen. Good, you can tuck your chin and look at your elbows here. Take a deep breath in. Open up the arms back to your stop sign. Exhale, turn your stop sign activation on. Glide your shoulder blades down to your waist, elbows down into that waistline. Inhale here, exhale, spine twist. Good, as you inhale to come back to center, check the shoulders are glided down from your ears. Exhale, spine twist. Inhale to center, beautiful. Close your forearms, exhale, squeeze your elbows together. Feel your shoulder blades widen and open, so you're barreling open your back. A deep breath in, open up your arms, hands come to face height, elbows soft. Exhale, glide down through that stop sign activation. Shoulder blades gliding into the waistline, elbows to your waist. Inhale, hold. Exhale, spine twist. Good. Inhale, center. Shoulders down. Exhale, spine twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, close the forearms. Squeeze the elbows together. Chin lightly tucked to chest. Good. Inhale, open up. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down your back for stop sign. On your next exhale, spine twist. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, spine twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, close the forearms. Elbows squeeze together, chin to chest. Good. Inhale, open up. Let's do one more. Exhale, stop sign on. Inhale, hold. Exhale, spine twist. Inhale to center. Exhale, spine twist. Inhale to center. Close the forearms. Exhale, squeeze the elbows together, chin to chest. Good. Inhale, open up for stop sign. Turn the stop sign on the exhale. And then relax the arms, bend at the knees. Beautiful. Good work. So if you had straight legs with slightly flexed feet, you would feel the quadricep really responsive in that exercise. That's a nice way to train that upright position. We're going to finish laying on our back for a little bit of abdominal work. So you're going to come down into supine, lying on your back with bent knees. Beautiful. Now, because we've done quite a lot of upper body, we're going to focus on the abdominals. We're going to start with a nice neutral spine connection for our lift foot. Hands are on your pelvic bones. You want to check that you've got a nice neutral spine as well as a nice, strong, stable pelvis. Switch onto your T-zone. Inhale, lift your pelvic floor and relax your shoulders from your ears. As you exhale, hands can come into that transverse line and you can check that you're flattening your abdominals, drawing your hip bones closer together in front. From here, take a deep breath in. On your next exhale, you're going to float one foot from the mat, knee lifting above your pelvis. Now as you inhale, bring the foot back down, changing sides. Exhale, lift foot. Inhale, bring the foot down. Hands at that transverse band. Check that you're really stabilizing the pelvis. The abdominals, exhale, flattening as you lift one foot from the mat. Inhale, foot comes down. Good. Hands can wander into the lower back and check the nice neutral spine, as well as that drawdown of rib to hip to keep the oblique line in neutral. Sorry, on, and the spine within neutral. Good. No tension through the neck or the shoulders. Let's turn this into lift and extend. Exhale, lift foot. Hold the knee alignment over the pelvis. Hands on the rib cage, take a breath in. You're going to extend the leg from hip to toe and exhale to lower the leg. Good. A lower so you align two thighs, and then inhale, bend the knee. Place the foot down. Exhale, lift foot on the other side, hands on the rib cage. Extend the leg, exhale to lower, ribs sink in and down. Inhale, knee over hip. Come back to the mat. Keep alternating, lift foot and extend. Lowering to challenge, aligning the thighs, or dropping the leg just lower than that thigh. Good. You want to keep your pelvic bones or your hip bones level and your transverse band on in that neutral spine. Softly relax the shoulders so we're not adding any upper body tension into this exercise. Let's have one more on each side, working strongly through the lift and extend in neutral. Good. Come back to the mat with both feet, have a little rest. Good, the next exercise we're going to do is going to be our oblique curl 1. So we're going to stay feet down, we'll come back to level 2 after we've done our pendulum. If you're not oblique curling, you can go for your bent knee fallouts instead, 10 on each side. Hands are going to go behind the head, elbow wide, chest open. Have a light tug of chin to chest. Switch onto the T-zone for me in neutral spine. And then when you take a deep breath in to prepare, I want you to gently tuck the chin towards the chest, lengthen the back of the neck, and think about floating the head just from the mat. Now, as you sink the ribs towards the hips on the exhale, you're going to scoop the abdominals to peel the upper body from the mat first, then rotate the armpit towards the opposite hip bone. Keep your pelvis as level as possible, knees fixed to the ceiling. Inhale to unrotate and lower. Good. Chin lightly tucked to chest, lengthen the back of the neck, float the head just from the mat. Exhale to curl ribs towards the hips to scoop the abdominals. Then rotate across, armpit to the opposite hip bone. Try to keep the pelvis level, knees aligned to the ceiling. Inhale to unrotate and lower. Exhale to curl and rotate across. Good. Inhale to unrotate and lower. Keep alternating the sides for me. Try to work on keeping that pelvis nice and level. Good. Exhale. Rotate. Good. We can work towards 10 either side, but you may find that you get to 6 and you've done enough and you need to have a rest. Lovely. Keep it going. Now, it's not a side-to-side motion like so. It's not lateral flexion. You do want flexion of the spine first to encourage that scooped out bowl, and then you want to rotate across. Good. Let's have 2 on each side. Feet down on the mat, working in oblique curl 1. Last one each side here. Exhale to curl, ribs sink in and down first, and then rotate across. Inhale, unrotate to lower. Good, come back to the mat. Take the hands away from the back of the head, outstretch them wide from the chest. We're going to go into pendulum. For those of you that want to stay feet on the mat, by all means, bring your toes, your heels, your knees, your inner thighs together. For those of you in double leg tabletop, if you want to work a little bit harder, equally toes, heels, knees, feet together. Knees stay aligned over the hip bones in your tabletop. Now we want to switch on to T-zone, make sure that we're working with activation of pelvic floor and abdominals. And then we begin inhale as both legs roll over one side of the body. Now we want to keep the shoulders glided back and down, fixed on the mat. Squeeze through the inner thighs, exhale, scoop through T-zone, legs return to center. Inhale the legs over one side of the body. Squeezing through the inner thighs, scoop out through the bowl of abdominals, legs come back to center. Good, we want to remain relaxed through the shoulders, the neck, and the jaw. So only take the legs over as far as you can maintain that upper body connection to the mat, and the eyes stay fixed to the ceiling. Now for those of you that want to work a little bit harder, you can add a leg extension into this exercise, even with the feet on the ground. From your pendulum, inhaling the legs over one side of the body, squeeze your knees together. You're going to lengthen the top leg from knee to toe. Exhale, scooping out through T-zone, squeezing the inner thighs. Legs return to center, sweeping the toes of that long leg on the ceiling. Then bring the feet back to the start position, either feet down or feet in tabletop. Inhale the legs over, squeeze the knees together. Extend the top leg from knee to toe. Exhale, scoop out through T-zone, squeezing the inner thighs. Sweep the toes of the long leg on the ceiling. Inhale to center. Good. So if you're in your double leg tabletop, your single leg extension pendulum will look like so. You may find that you cannot take a big range of rotation here, adding in that leg extension. Equally, if we were to add double leg extension into this exercise, you may need to limit your range of rotation even more. Double leg extension only for double leg tabletop. So inhale the legs over. You want to squeeze your knees, your inner thighs, your heels, your toes together. Extend both legs. As you exhale, you want to scoop out through T-zone. Squeeze the inner thighs, the knees, the heels together to draw the legs back to center. Inhale, tabletop in the middle. Inhale the legs over. Extend, squeezing toes, knees, inner thighs together. Exhale, sweep, scooping out. Good. Inhale to bend to tabletop in the middle. Again, you may find that your range of motion with double leg extension on the pendulum rotation and the return is a lot smaller than your usual pendulum. Good. We can go for 2 more on each side, feet down, single leg extension or this double leg extension version. You want to make sure that you're maintaining a deep scoop of the abdominals if you're utilizing this double leg extension in double leg tabletop. Try to keep the knees together. Try to think about the inner thigh, the heel connection as you come back to center for your last one. Come back to double leg tabletop. Knees can come to chest for a little squeeze. You can roll your lower back to release on the mat. Roll a few circles one way and then the other before coming back to the mat 1 foot at a time. Lovely. Let's come back to that oblique curl movement. So for those of you that want to work into single leg and double leg tabletop positioning, I'm going to go through that here. If you want to maintain 2 feet on the ground, come back to repeat your oblique curl 1, looking towards getting your 10 reps on each side with T-zone and neutral spine. You can always come back to your bent knee fallouts, your leg slides, your lift and extends if this exercise is too much for you. I'm going to begin in a single leg tabletop position, hands behind the head once more, elbows wide, chest open. Now in single leg tabletop, I've got my T-zone already on. Again, I want to think about the tuck of chin to chest, the lengthening the back of the neck to float the head from the mat. Keeping this length in the back of the neck, I'm utilizing my thumbs either side of my neck and skull. As I exhale to curl, I want to sink the ribs towards the hips, so I'm scooping and flattening my bowl of abdominals first. Keeping the knee aligned over the hip, I'm going to rotate my armpit towards the hip bone of the tabletop leg. Inhale to unrotate and lower. Stay on this one side for 4 more. Exhale to curl, light tuck of chin to chest, lengthen the back of the neck, flatten the abdominals, exhale to rotate across, inhale to unrotate and lower. Good, so for those of you, you may think about the scooped out bowl. It might be the flattening of the bowl. You don't want to be compressing the lower back, so we don't want to be trying to lift the chest up, utilizing the pull of the head. We want to keep the length in the back of the neck, and we want to utilize inward rotation armpit towards the hip bone. And you'll notice my tabletop leg has not shifted. It hasn't come towards me. After I've done 5 on one side, I'm going to go for 5 on the other side. Exhale to curl first. Keep the length of the back of the neck. Rotate armpit to the opposite hip bone of the tabletop leg. Inhale to unrotate and lower. Now, if you are moving up towards your double leg tabletop positioning, I'll go through that next. So if you've done 5 on each side, and you'd like to consider moving into double leg tabletop, we can do that next. So I'm going to come into double leg tabletop. I want to lengthen the back of the neck first, and I want to think about my safe spine positioning. So if one leg feels nice and stable with flattened abdominals, think about softly drawing the tailbone down the mat, not the lumbar spine into the mat. Think about flattening from hip bone to hip bone, and test the waters by bringing the second leg off. If everything feels stable within the pelvis, the lower back's not squashed into the mat and the knees are not up towards your chest, the knees are still aligned over the hips and you haven't jolted, you're ready to work in this position. You can bring your knees together. A space in between makes this more challenging. Hands behind the head, elbowed wide, chest open. A light tuck of chin to chest. Think about lengthening the back of your neck using your thumbs either side of that skull. As you exhale to curl, sink the ribs towards the hips. Scoop the bowl of abdominals out. Nice flattening sensation at the front of the pelvis. And then you're going to rotate armpit towards the opposite hip bone. Choose the side that you'd like to work first. Inhale to unrotate. Chest comes all the way down. Changing sides. Exhale to curl first. Ribs to hips. Rotate across. Unrotate and lower. Good. Let's do 5 on each side. Exhale to curl. Rotate across. Notice that my knees are not moving towards me. That would be cheating. That would be you tilting the pelvis. You want to rotate. Exhale to curl first. Ribs to hips. Flattened abdominals is number 1. Ab curl. Then rotate across and down. Notice that when I rotate my full chest. It's an upper body rotation, not a lower body. 1 more each side. Keep the length in the back of the neck, the chin to chest. Last one. Beautiful. Come back to the mat, upper body down first. Knees can come to chest or feet down one at a time and have a little break. Roll your spine. Draw some circles if you'd like, and then draw a few the opposite direction. Release the fascia of the lower back gently. Good. Bring the feet back down to the mat one at a time. Beautiful. We're going to squeeze inner thighs together, roll onto the side, push ourselves up, come back to our box. So because we've done a little bit of rotation and a lot of work through the upper body, I'm going to finish with thread the needle stretch. If you do not like thread the needle, by all means, you can come into a nice seated shoulder stretch as such. And then you can also do your chest stretch against the wall. So I'm going to come to my 4-point kneeling box, hand under my shoulder, knee under my hip bone. You want to make sure you switch on your T-zone to support your stretching here. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see my arm movement. Now I want to keep my pelvis level and I want the T-zone to do this here. I'm going to start by drawing the shoulder blades down, taking one arm away from the mat, out to the side, palm facing down. Take a deep breath in. Turn your eye to look at your thumb. Exhale, push this arm behind you. Really stretch the arm. Now, as you inhale, this arm's going to travel underneath the chest, palm facing towards you. And as you exhale, slide it underneath your supporting arm, bend the supporting elbow, and draw this shoulder blade down to the mat, rotating through the back. Good. Inhale, unslide, take it back out to the side. Exhale, push the arm behind you. Follow the eye with the thumb. Inhale, tuck it underneath you, and exhale, slide it through. Bend the supporting elbow to draw your shoulder towards the mat, possibly even your earlobe. Good. Inhale, unthread, out to the side. Exhale, push the palm behind you, eye on that thumb. Inhale, it threads underneath your chest, palm facing you. Exhale, slide through that supporting arm. Ear and shoulder drawing towards the mat. Inhale, undo. Let's do one more, out to the side. Push the palm back, exhale. Inhale, under. Exhale, slide through. Good. Have a little breath in and out here in this nice shoulder stretch. Melt the earlobe towards the mat. Deep breath in and out. Gently unthread. Place the hand down. Let's change 4 repetitions on the other side. Shoulders down. Take the hand away, arm out to the side, palm facing down, eye on that thumb. Exhale, extend the arm behind you. Keep traveling with that thumb, use that eye line. Inhale, it threads underneath your chest, palm facing you. Slide underneath the supporting arm, bend the supporting elbow, draw the shoulder blade towards the mat. Inhale, unthread, out to the side. Eye on that thumb, exhale, push the palm back. Inhale, thread underneath you, palm is facing you. Slide, exhale, underneath that supporting elbow, bending here. Shoulder blade, maybe ear drawing down to the mat. Inhale, undo out to the side, 2 more. Exhale, push the palm back. Slide it under, inhale, exhale, slide it through. Bend the supporting elbow. Shoulder and ear coming closer to the mat. Inhale, last one, out to the side. Exhale, push the arm back. Inhale, slide it under. Exhale, it slides through. We draw the shoulder blade, melt the ear towards the mat, bend the supporting elbow. Take a deep breath in and out and allow the shoulder to melt towards the mat. Good. Feel the back of the shoulder blade gently opening here. We're going to inhale, push against our remaining palm, slide back to our box. Good, take a deep breath in here. Keeping the T-zone working, I'm going to come up in through standing lunge. So I'm going to bring one foot between my hands and walk my toes forwards. I'm going to bring the same side hand onto the thigh to support me. Take a deep breath in, pushing through my remaining palm and my knee into the mat. I'm going to exhale, bring 2 feet together into my standing bent knee position in forward fold. Take a deep breath in, 2 hands onto the thighs, tuck the chin all the way under. Now as I exhale, I'm going to scoot through my abdominals, start to push my hands into my thighs, round my upper back, roll myself upright slowly, starting to straighten out the legs and align the pelvis over the feet, and then slowly exhale, lifting the spine 1 vertebrae at a time to the top. Good, lifting the chin, dropping the shoulders, floating the sternum for a deep breath in. Well done. So that's the end of your first workout of week 1. I hope to join you on the mat for week 3 workout 2. And otherwise, have a wonderful week.